Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Christy. Today I'm bringing you a keto-friendly, low-carb option for lasagna. In this recipe I'm using zucchini noodles and I'm not going to be using pasta. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. I'd love to have you as a member of my YouTube family. Okay, your first step is you're going to want to take your 2 zucchinis and you're going to want to wash those. I cut off the ends and then I take my slicer and you're going to want to slice these into thin slices. I use almost the entire 2 zucchinis. I am really careful because this thing is super sharp, so when it gets really close to the edge I just go ahead and take what's left over and I'm going to chop it up and I'm going to put it in my meat and sauce mixture just so that I don't waste it. But you're going to want to slice these pretty thin. The point of slicing your zucchini this way is so it will represent your lasagna noodles. So once you have these sliced and laid out on paper towels, you're going to want to draw the moisture or as much moisture out of these zucchini as possible. When you lay them on your paper towels, you're going to then want to sprinkle salt on them and that'll help draw the moisture out. You'll rotate these. Once you see some of the moisture coming out, you'll blot these with paper towels. Do whatever you need to do just to get as much moisture out as possible. While your zucchini is set to the side and it's getting the moisture taken out, you're going to want to cook whichever meat you're going to use in your lasagna. You can use sausage, you can use Italian sausage, you can use ground beef, turkey, chicken. I'm going to be using just ground beef and I'm using the 90-10 and this is just 16 ounces. While the beef is browning, I'm going to go ahead and chop up some garlic or mince that and add that to this mixture. I'm going to add approximately 1 tablespoon of chopped garlic and then just mix that in. It's at this time I like to go ahead and preheat my oven. You're going to set that on 350 and you're going to cook it once it's ready for 30 minutes. To make this low carb and keto friendly, you're going to want to use a pasta sauce that has no added sugars and very little carbs. The one that I picked up is from Aldi. It's only got 7 carbs, 2 are fiber, no added sugar, and only 4 sugars. So your sugars are coming from your vegetables and your tomatoes that's inside this. Once I've browned my meat completely, you want to add your marinara sauce. This is a very important step because you're going to want to cook this down so that a lot of the water is cooked out of it so that you have a thicker sauce. So that when your lasagna is complete, it's not going to be runny. So you can see how there's like water or extra liquid over here. You're going to want to let this cook for quite some time so that it boils down some of that extra liquid. This is also the point where I'm going to take my extra zucchini that I had, the ends, and I'm going to go ahead and chop them up and add those to my sauce mixture. You can see that there's still a lot of liquid on there. I'm just going to go ahead and add the remaining chopped up zucchini just so I won't waste it and mix it in so that we keep cooking off some of that extra liquid. So the zucchini noodles are sitting to the side and I'm drawing the moisture out of those. You can see some of the liquid on top. I'm just going to lay a paper towel down on top of those and just pat, and you can see all that's coming off. That's what you want to get rid of, is all that moisture. So while my meat and sauce mixture is cooking and boiling down some of the liquid, I like to go ahead and mix together my ricotta, Parmesan cheese, and egg. I feel like this step is really personal preference. It just depends on how cheesy you like it. I add in 2 cups of ricotta, 1 cup of shredded Parmesan, and then 1 egg, and I mix those up really well. Next, add in whatever seasonings that you prefer. I love garlic. This whole household loves garlic, so I go with a lot of that. We also add salt and pepper. And then I'm just going to go with a mixture of different herbs and seasonings. That's all it says is mixed herbs on the container. Then mix all this up. Again, this is just your base mixture of cheeses. It's your ricotta cheese, your Parmesan cheese, and your egg, and then your seasonings that you want. I feel like you can go with whichever amount you like. If you want less ricotta cheese, you can. If you want more Parmesan cheese, you can. I feel like this part, you don't have to follow a specific size in your recipe. It just depends how big of a lasagna you're making. Okay, here's what you want your meat and sauce mixture to look like. You see where I've cooked off all that extra liquid so that the lasagna is not going to be runny. Okay, I'm just using an 8 by 11.5 inch casserole dish, and you're going to want to begin layering. I always like to start out with meat sauce just so that nothing sticks to the bottom. So you're just going to layer, and you're going to put a small amount of the meat sauce on the bottom. Then you're going to add your zucchini noodles, your ricotta cheese, and just keep layering over and over. Okay, we have a meat layer, a zucchini noodle layer, and now we're going to go with our ricotta cheese mixture layer. All I do is add just little dollops of the ricotta cheese all over the zucchini, and then next you're going to want to add your meat layer. If you want to add mozzarella cheese, you can do that after your meat layer. That's a great time. Again, after the meat layer, then you start laying your noodles. I like to start one layer this way, and then I'll do the next layer this way, sort of a crisscross pattern. Just the same as with any lasagna, just lots of layers. The more layers, the better. Add another zucchini layer. Then I finish off the remainder of the ricotta cheese, and instead of putting my meat on next, if I have any zucchini noodles left, I go ahead and add those. So basically, just layer it up to the best of your ability. Then after that last zucchini layer, I go ahead and add the remainder of my meat. After I've put my last layer of meat on, then I like to cut up my mozzarella and lay it on top. This is just the fresh mozzarella from Aldi, and all I'm going to do is just open it and then slice it. Here's my fresh mozzarella, and I'm just going to layer that over top of it so that it melts. Once you have your mozzarella cheese on, you're going to want to cover this with aluminum foil, and you're going to want to bake this in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. After it's been in for about 30 minutes, I go ahead and take off the aluminum foil, and then I push it back into the oven for another 5 minutes or so, long enough just to brown the cheese. With any pasta dish I make, as soon as it comes out of the oven or it's finished, I like to let it sit for a good 5 to 10 minutes to let it cool some so that it cuts better. I've noticed that if you do it right after the oven, then the cheese just seems to go everywhere. It seems like the whole plate of food just melts. So let this sit for a little while, let it rest and cool, and then it'll be ready to eat. This lasagna is a great low-carb option if you're doing keto. It's very simple. It may take you a little time just because you have to slice up the noodles, your zucchini, and go ahead and layer it, but no longer than it usually does for any lasagna dish. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out other videos. I'll have some linked below, and I will see you next time. I hope everyone has an amazing week. Bye.